Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Adam, and this is Music Theory for Guitarists. I'm making these videos to help my guitarist friends who, like me, at one point didn't necessarily know how music theory works. Most guitarists don't learn music the same way as pianists, which is fine. Most of us don't play piano. But in my opinion, learning music theory unlocks a completely new way to look at guitar and look at music itself. And I wanted to help my fellow guitarists in understanding how incredible music is in the area of music theory. So I wanted to start with just the basics of Western music and how it works for guitar. And the basics of this purely are the clefs, which starts with treble and bass are the two that you're most likely going to see. If you've read tab music, you've read some treble. Now, tab works a little differently because it's all numbers, but we will get into the overlap in where treble and tab are interconnected. Alongside that, when it comes to guitar is very similar to the piano in that a guitar is one of the few instruments in Western music where you can do both a chord and individual notes like a riff. Which makes guitar incredibly versatile and is incredibly sought, not just for playing to show off what you can do, but also being able to write for this instrument. Both guitar and piano are the two instruments that most songwriters would say are most preferred when it comes to songwriting, especially acoustic piano and acoustic guitar. Primarily because if a song works on either of those instruments, it can work in any genre with any instrument. So going back to the issue of the basic building block of Western music are individual notes. Not to get ahead of myself, but that is a G chord. Many of us, this was one of the first instruments when we get on guitar. It is one of the first chords that we ever learn for this instrument. And the basic building block is just the individual note. Just an individual note of G. And then later on, we'll get further into this, but each building block creates what is called a triad, which in the Western music, we base everything off of triads, which we normally call this chords. A triad is 3 notes. In its most simple form, it's a third above each other and is made up of several numbers in any chord, 1, 3, and 5. This is a normal major chord of G major. That obviously sounded very low. That didn't sound as full as a normal strum. And that is because what makes guitar incredible and different is that we are able to play 6 strings at the same time. So, in the case of a G chord on a guitar, that would be made up of G, B, and D triad, with above that octave G, octave B or D, compared to which version you use, and 2 octaves above the root G. And it sounds like altogether that beautiful, beautiful chord that many of us first learned. And to and guitar uses a numeric system, and so does music theory. The numeric system for guitar is usually based around which frets that you're using. Many of us know you're using 3, 2, open, 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 3. Now, for music theory, with how this looks, it would be 1, 3, 5, and then 8, the octave 1, and then 3 octave, and then 1 again. Playing 2 octaves in one single strum. So, for those of you who are trying to learn music theory, the main takeaways that I want you to take away with from this lesson is 1, music is based around individual notes, and then you add on top of that triads, 3 notes which create chords. Usually in the notes of 1, 3, and 5, depending on which vary depending on the chord that you're using, but for every major chord in every major scale, it is 1, 3, and 5. So we'll get on with other areas next time, and I hope that you learned something. Thank you, and have a great day.